All right. Should we give anybody else another 3 minutes, or should we just go?
Have you met women before?
Okay, then.
Keep that in the show, by the way. Don't cut that out.
Welcome to the Stuff and Junk Show. We share our opinions on random subjects from interesting news, social topics, pop culture, our likes and dislikes, things you've seen, heard, or read, what we did, and what we do. You know, stuff and junk. Hello, my name is Albert.
Hey, now it's Tommy.
So, I had a friend who went and sent me a message like, hey, I got a Starbucks gift card for you. Can you give me your address? I'll send it to you. So obviously,
Wait,
I'm like, oh, you want to just take the picture of the code and I'll just plug it into my app?
Yeah, what year is this? Did your friend text you from like the past, like from 15, 20 years ago? What's going on here? What's happening here?
And then she goes, I mean, yeah, I could do that, but I think you like this Starbucks gift card. I'm like, nah, it's okay, just take a picture of him, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like Albert,
you know what? Like even more, the convenience of just click.
And then it's like, Albert, are you sure you don't want this collectible Metallica Starbucks card gift card? And like, here's my address now.
Oh, so it worked actually.
Yeah. So I just received it actually today. So I was like, yeah.
Was it worth it? Was it worth the postage? Was it worth the gasoline and the carbon footprint?
Absolutely. And her postage stamp and the envelope that she used and the card that she put in.
Dick.
Yeah. Right.
I literally one time I was going to a Christmas party. I sat in the parking lot of said Christmas party, and I pulled up Amazon and I said, you know what? I better get some Amazon gift cards for these guys. You know what I mean? It's like $25 here, $25 there. Click. All right, hi guys, check your emails. Merry Christmas, guys.
I'm sure they prefer. I'm sure they prefer it anyway.
Yeah,
I know I do. I prefer gift cards over regular gifts. To tell you the truth nowadays, so.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
just without sounding too much like a douche, but I just spent a great deal of money on at Best Buy Cyber Monday, whatever. And as sort of like a reward or whatever, spending X amount of dollars, they gave me $150. You know what I mean? For the $150 for the stores. And usually for my vendor for work, they also give me give rewards cards. So I prefer that. You know what I mean? I can cobble together a few of these Best Buy's rewards cards and get some real money going on. So that's what I prefer too. I prefer having the flexibility of of just spending money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's I'm assuming here, but I think it's only our generation and above who thinks that gift cards is kind of douchey. I'm pretty sure I would like to think that kids nowadays don't mind.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I do. Yes, I agree with that because I did ask my nephew. I did tell him like, hey, if you think of something you want for Christmas and stuff like that, let me know. If you don't say anything, I'm gonna just he has access to like a little account I opened for him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So he has a debit card on his iPhone and stuff like that. Anyway, long story short, I told him, hey, if you can't think of anything, I'm just put another $100 in that account. You know what I mean? And he said, okay. And he just kind of brushed it off. Anyway, whatever. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's the 722nd episode of the show, and as of this recording, it's currently 8:40 p.m., November 27, 2023, in College Park, Georgia, Atlanta, and it's time we take a look and see what's up.
What's going on? What's up?
So here's another Georgian. Okay, I'm not going back to that stupid joke. Anyways, so a Georgia woman.
I can't point out real quick. You can't laugh before you tell the story. Come on, man. Come on, man.
I'm not laughing at this story. I'm laughing at.
You can't enjoy yourself. You can't enjoy yourself before you pleasure the audience. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I can always enjoy myself before I'm
right. Wow. Sorry for your wife, am I?
Anyways,
guys.
Anyways. So this Georgia woman went over to Subway Sandwich, which is actually a place I haven't gone to in many years. I think
that's his first mistake. But anyway.
Right, so Vera Connor told NBC News that she ordered her weekly Italian sub with salami, pepperoni, and ham. And
So what you can do right now is going to pause and let me guess what was actually in the sandwich, right?
No. And then the meal cost $7.54, right?
Uh-huh.
And then did you know that Subway has like loyalty cards now and all that stuff?
No idea.
Yeah, I haven't gone there in years. I didn't know that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm.
So the thing pops up in the thing, and she plugged in her information, blah 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 blah, right? And then later on, she looks at her receipt, and she goes, "Oh my god, I thought this number looks familiar. It was the last 6 numbers of my phone number." And it turns out that instead of plugging in her phone number for her loyalty card, she was plugging in the information for the tip.
Oh, that's not good.
So the question is, how much did she tip Subway?
Wait, hold on a second. How many? Is that including area code, or are we talking about here?
Oh, I mean, that's your guess, right?
Let's see here. So there's only 2 possibilities. It's either in the it's either 7 figures or 10 figures. I'm gonna say that's probably local.
Well, I mean, okay, I'll repeat myself here. She goes right here. I thought this number looks familiar. It was the last 6 numbers of my phone number.
Yeah.
So
like
6 numbers, Jiaming.
Yeah, 6 numbers. So at least $300,000, $600,000, $600,000.
Came out to $7,105.44.
Oh, that's right, cents. I thought they rounded up.
I know it would have been really bad if it's like.
I know, seriously.
Yeah, but yeah. So she paid with her Bank of America card, right? First, she went to Subway.
Bank of America. So it was a debit. Did she have her debit account?
It says here Bank of America credit card.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, I think all banks have credit cards now. It's not all.
Yeah.
But anyways, so she went over to BFA and to dispute the charge, and they said denied, right? Because BFA. And then she went over to Subway, and then the manager said, "Talk to your bank."
No, they didn't do that. That seems cruel. That doesn't seem right. I don't know if this passes the smell test. They could have turned that over. I don't know. So she went from the Subway to the bank and back to Subway.
She went to the bank and then Subway.
Right. But she didn't realize the mistake before she left the Subway thing? I missed that part.
Apparently so. The paragraph here in Business Insider just talks about how she plugs in the number, gave a tip, and then
I don't know. I don't know this. I don't know, because either she should have caught it in the store, or the person at the register should have caught that. I mean, if this looks bad for Subway and the people that work at the Subway, guys, come on, man. Nobody in common sense will tell you nobody's gonna give that much of $7,000 worth of tip. Come on, man. So somebody should have said something. And also, I think the credit card, if it's a credit card, there should be some sort of like notification. You know what I mean? Because I've occasionally had purchases and at outside of LA, and sort of like red flags go up and stuff like that. I don't think this passes the smell test. You know what I mean?
The thing is though is that I remember making this recommendation years ago. Like, make sure to turn on notification for all your transactions. That way, if it pops up a notification and you don't recognize it, you gotta do something about it. But a lot of people don't have that turned on though, or they have it turned on but they just ignore it, right? So
I have it turned off, but I usually do that thing where I just check it, because sounds dumb, but I work when the first thing before I start working, I actually just go through my various bank accounts and credit cards just to kind of glance through it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's like free time. So, anyway, go ahead.
So the article goes here. Connor has spent over a month trying to obtain a chargeback from Bank of America, and she was finally issued a temporary credit for the massive tip. Took a month to get a chargeback from BFA.
Yeah.
Right? So apparently what happened here was BFA went ahead and contacted Subway, and they must have made some kind of agreement. So, so they went ahead and did the chargeback. The thing is though, it's like what you're saying. This looks bad on both BFA and Subway. This should just be a simple like, oh no, we understand your mistake. We'll rectify this right now.
Even especially on Subway, actually, because the bank is technically like a third party, I guess, in this. You know what I mean? So I think Subway, should have done the right thing. I mean, it's, like I said, common sense and decency would have told you, hey, this lady, what is this? This is not like, she's not eating at French Laundry, right? You know what I mean? This isn't like a 3-star Michelin. Nobody's gonna tip that much. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Absolutely.
I would more be inclined to believe like that's some sort of like money laundering thing. Like, you know what I mean? She's like the cousin of the Subway owner. They're washing money with that kind of tip. You know what I mean? I would be more likely to believe that than anything else because that's BS on Subway's part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Subway should have done the right thing. You know what I mean?
Well, my guess is that the home base Subway probably doesn't even know anything about this.
Yeah.
But the manager who got the tip was like, "No, I'm keeping that." Right?
Yeah.
But here's BFA's excuse and why they originally rejected it. They said they initially rejected because she'd asked to refund the entire purchase, sandwich and tip included.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Come on, BFA, come on.
That's called covering your ass. Yeah, they're terrible. But I think the greater, if you do like a pie chart, the greater terrible thing is Subway. And if I was, I know, I 100% sure I know, like corporate doesn't know about this. But if I was corporate and I heard about this, like in social media or on the news, I would go ahead and find the manager of that branch and fire her. You know what I mean? Or fire him or her and stuff like that. Yeah, that's unbelievable.
This is bad publicity for Subway.
This is bad publicity. It's unbelievable.
I mean, BFA, nobody really likes BFA anyway, so it doesn't really matter to them. But Subway's been striving to try and get like people's good graces all these years, right? Ever since Jared. So it's like,
come on, man. Especially in this day and age. Well, of online social media journalism, advocacy and stuff like that. If, like I said, if this is legit, this they should have known this would have gotten some traction. That's just number one. Number two, like I said, the manager of that branch should just did the right thing. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. I mean, did he really think he was gonna get away with that tip and stuff like that? You know what I mean? Yep. At most, he could have hoped for like, hey, we give 7,000 back or something like that, and then she leaves like a 20 in a tip jar or something. You know what I mean? Some shit like that. You know what I mean? Yep. But that's ridiculous that they try to keep that much. That's boo. Like I said, if this story is legit and she had to go through all these steps to get that money back, it's on pie chart. I would go 70% Subway, 30% bank. I don't give her anything for being a dumbass. Should I give her a percentage for being a dumbass?
Give her a percentage for being a dumbass.
5%?
Yeah. Sure, 5%. Sure, 5%.
Yeah, that is typing a lot of digits to get for rewards cards. It still doesn't sound fun. I'll give her like 10% dumbass.
Well, I mean, most people's digital reward number is their phone number.
I guess.
Maybe this is why the whole thing where it automatically says 15, 20, 25%, and you just press a button is probably better than like type in your tip.
Yeah. You know what? Here's my hot take. I don't want to type in anything when I'm doing a money transaction. Just beep, beep, beep. I don't want to type in anything. Don't put any pressure on me. You know what I mean? I don't type in anything. I don't know. It just sounds bad. All this sounds bad. But yeah.
Speaking of sounding bad, there's a list out there about the world's 30th unfriendliest cities heading into 2024.
It's wherever city I live in. Whichever city I go to. F you.
Oh, sorry, this study goes here. Our mythology. I'm reading this from InsiderMonkey.com.
I'm sorry. What was the website?
InsiderMonkey.com.
Oh, that's not right. It
sounds
racial.
So I'm not looking through the whole article here, but I think the report is by McKinsey, whatever that means.
Oh, okay, fine. I think that sounds.
Is that the McKinsey Institute? The world's famous McKinsey Institute? Is that what it is?
That's what I'm saying. Okay. So maybe they took that and aggregated it or something like that. Okay. Right, summarized it or whatever. So okay.
He goes, to compile our list of the world's 30th unfriendliest cities heading to 2024, we decided to undertake a consensus-based approach using a diverse variety of credible sources. We then shortlisted more than 50 cities which appeared most frequently during our research. Since unfriendliness is an incredibly multifaceted and complex phenomenon, we established a three-pronged criteria to measure the unfriendliness of each city. That would be rude tourist interactions, cultural sensitivity, and crime. All right, so go ahead.
Based on my experience, it's Hong Kong and Macau. What do you think of that?
Okay, China is in it, but not the city you mentioned. Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
And I do not see Hong Kong. China's started up again, but not still in Hong Kong.
Interesting. All right.
Okay. So which one is this?
Not Hong Kong or Macau, so I'm guessing it's just based on like popularity. I'm guessing Beijing probably, right?
Beijing is in this list. It is at number 11.
Interesting.
One of the unfriendliest.
I can't speak from personal. I never made it up to Beijing, and honestly, those are my two guesses based on my own experience. I haven't traveled that much. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Do you have any other guesses?
I
mean, you got to put in some American cities here too, Jiaming.
Yeah, of course. I'm saying just And some of it I'm gonna give some leeway because just based on frequency. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say New York City, but it's just based on so many times people go there and stuff like that. So New York City.
New York City, number 14.
There
you want to guess what number 15 is?
Chicago.
Los
No,
Angeles.
Los Angeles. You say Los Angeles. I figured. You put an extra emphasis on that, so I'm guessing you want me to guess where we live.
Exactly. Hey, we're not as unfriendly as New York, apparently.
And you know what? If those tourists happen to be listening, F you. Get the hell out of town. I don't care. What do I care? Take it out.
All right. So
there's too much traffic. There's too much traffic anyway. What do you
you didn't break the top 10, by the way. So do you want to hear the top 10? You want to make some more guesses?
Go ahead. Why don't you give me some geographical hints? You know what I mean? Like number 1, like is in this area of the world.
Top 10. There's only one city in the U.S. in the top 10.
Oh, interesting. And it's not New York or L.A., huh? Oh, yeah. Where else would I think they were dickish? Let me see. Well, I would say Boston for racism, but I don't think people visit Boston enough, right?
Oh, maybe Chicago. Before we move on, here let me mention what it says here about LA. It says here the reason why it's on the list is shopping scams and taxi scams are highly prevalent in Los Angeles, because of which the tourists have to be extra careful. Solo travelers find it even more difficult to travel alone around the city. And
what? Call Uber, you pussies.
And for New York City, even though people visit New York frequently and it is one of the most crowded cities in the world, tourists find New Yorkers to be extremely unhelpful and unfriendly, making it one of the world's unfriendliest cities.
If only we had a co-host that lived in New York City that could actually defend his or her city. But here we are.
She's probably going to go now. No, that's about right.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think, and based on our history with her on the podcast, I don't think she's into defending New York City.
Okay, so number 10. Number 10 is where the U.S., the other U.S. city is. And it is...
not Boston, Chicago?
No.
It's Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C.
No. It's Miami.
Oh, okay.
Miami is considered to be one of the unfriendliest cities in the United States, mainly because the locals are thought to be pretentious. So, wow, Miami is pretentious? Really? Many tourists report rude encounters with locals, making their trip difficult. One of the main crimes in Miami is drug dealing. Thus, tourists have to be careful of such encounters, especially on family vacations.
Oh, I thought they meant like they're getting scammed and not getting the drug that they want. You know what I mean? This isn't cocaine. How dare you?
I don't know if the word pretentious is the correct word I will say, Miami-lites. It's probably indignant. It's probably the word I would say.
No, I've never been down there.
Yeah. And the rest of the top 10 are Frankfurt, Germany, Lyon, France, Accra, Ghana, St. Petersburg, Russia, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Delhi, India, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia? Really? Huh. Interesting. Mumbai, India, and Marrakech, Morocco.
No interest in visiting any of those cities, but what can you do?
We have a co-host that travels around. We could have asked her opinion.
Oh, well, if that's only if. Dare to dream. We have more than one co-host and stuff like that. But what can you do?
And for the last story I have here is there is this model agency that's been having problems with their models and influencers. Like they either A, asking for money, or B,
feeling chubby, little freshman.
Well, they don't say that, or they said like they're being difficult about certain jobs that they don't want to take. Blah 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 blah. So what this modeling agency did was they went to AI.
Yeah.
So they created Aitana. Aitana is an AI Spanish model, and apparently she is making £10,000 a month.
Okay.
Euro. This is not pounds. It's euro. What's it?
Euro. A euro, isn't it?
Euro. The euro.
Yeah.
That's right. The euro.
Yeah, the euro.
So 10,000 a month. 10,000 euros a month. And averaging 3,000 euros a month. And this is a person that doesn't exist. Doesn't need to be fed. Doesn't need to maintain her weight because it's AI. It's
like the perfect wife. Is she single? Hey, look at that. About that. Look at that.
So yeah, she has like more than 121,000 followers on Instagram, and her photos get viewed all the time. She has all these jobs. She doesn't get exhausted. One day, a well-known Latin American actor texted to ask her out. This actor has about 5 million followers, and some of our team watched his TV series when they were kids. He had no idea Aitana did not exist.
I'm sure it's the real story. I'm sure Are you sure this isn't like a Telemundo that you're referencing and stuff like that? Are you sure? Are you sure this is a real thing?
It's apparently a real thing. I mean,
sure it's not a soap opera?
When you called, I was looking up all her links and see what in her Instagram and her YouTube and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I would say she looks very.
I don't
close.
think their pronouns is she and her, by the way.
That's very true, huh? I mean, she's a she.
They,
I mean, come on.
I would use they and them. It is a pronoun. God damn it.
Oh, they actually also created. She was such a success. They created a second virtual model called Maya.
Mm-hmm.
Wow! This is the future of models. My God, yeah. She looks a little bit like Vanessa Hudgens. Is the way I would describe her.
Oh, okay. All right. There you go.
Yeah. All right. And that's what's up. You can find this podcast on Instagram and Threads at Stuff Junk Show. You can find me. You can find me, Albert.
Oh, well
I can't even see my own name. You can find me, Albert, on Instagram and Threads as well at Albert5x5.
Well, you can find me on the Twitter, JIAMINGLIOU.
Music has been provided by Gloomy June. Contact info, ways to support us, and everything else is on the show notes found on whatworstwide.com. Before wrapping things up, this is the last week of the month, so I shall run down some news stories from the month. If anything sticks, feel free to chime in. TikTok challenge was the slick back challenge, the Juby slide. Have you heard of that, Jiaming?
No idea.
It's like a dance move where it looks like you're like floating on air off the ground kind of thing. It's kind of bizarre, but when it's done right, it does look like they're floating on air. The Beatles actually released a new song that happened this month. It's pretty incredible. SAG-AFTRA and the studios reached a tentative deal on a new 3-year contract. The current contract is available to be read right now, and apparently there's currently some actors who, not some, like several actors who are like, I'm not gonna vote yes on that. It's not. It kind of gave in. So we'll see. This might go bad again. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough momentum. I don't think there's enough votes for it to be completely rejected. But there are some well-publicized actors, well-known actors that are saying no. It doesn't go far enough to protect them against AI. I guess that is their point, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
As far as I can tell, I'm actually in the interest of full disclosure, I'm not on the Twitter as much. I'm kind of off.
Good for you.
More. Yeah. I'm just looking at hot chicks on the Instagram is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of news over there. But yeah. So So I'm not really plugged in. But from what I can tell, it seems like, it's gonna pass. But what do you yeah.
I was waiting for an article. I was looking for an article who would say, here are the bullet points of what this contract is. And I haven't found it. Come on, people.
Can someone summarize this? Come on, give us some bullet points.
They did it for the writers. The writers, they had like lots of articles summarizing it. And this one, for some reason, pretty quiet about it.
Oh, I think we know the reason why. Writers are smarter. They're able to take a mass amount of information and give it to you succinctly and bullet points. Actor's dumb. Actor not smart.
I guess. Apple says iPhones will support RCS in 2024. We shall see how that plays out next year. Warner Brothers and this whole thing with Coyote versus Acme.
I know.
Right? Which should be a non-story, but it became a story because of how Warner Brothers is handling it. First they canceled it, and then they're saying like, oh no, it's coming back.
Yeah.
And then now there's legislation saying how Congress people are saying like, maybe we should investigate what Warner Brothers is doing with their property. Yeah. So yeah,
because you just can't produce things and make it like a tax break and stuff like that. It's not right. And also, they didn't say it's back, right? But they're able to shop it to other.
Correct. That is true.
Other studios. Yes. And also, did you? One thing I know about this is did you see James Gunn's kind of reaction to it and stuff like that?
No. Go on.
That's the most interesting part to me and stuff like that because for people who don't know, James Gunn, left Marvel Studios. He's the co-creative. I don't know what his title is. Co-creative studio head of DC Comics. You know what I mean? He's responsible for TV and movie. Him and his partner and stuff like that. But the day of or the day after, it's a very simple Instagram post of just the Wile E. Coyote. You know what I mean? The Wile is a cartoon image of Wile E. Coyote. In other words, he's kind of supporting the fact that hey, this is kind of BS. You know what I mean? The people that produced it, the people that acted in it and stuff like that, they have a right to have this kind of distributed. It's kind of BS that Warner Bros. Is kind of shelving it for tax break at the time. You know what I mean? And also keep in mind, he and John Cena are very, very close friends after Suicide Squad, Peacemaker and stuff like that. And John Cena is the lead actor in the Acme versus Wile E. Coyote, wherever the
Correct.
title is. So yeah, so that to me was one of the more interesting parts that came out of the story and stuff like that. James Gunn taking indirect, I guess, umbrage against his boss and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like if any company is gonna get the rights to this movie, it's probably Apple, because Apple has the cash flow to do it. I kind of quietly want Disney Plus to get it, just to have
just a chaos.
Yeah,
Just a giggle.
like Wile E. Coyote and Warner Brothers character in a Disney Plus movie.
Yeah.
You know, that would be something else.
And this is to zoom out even further about Warner Bros. What's happening, Warner Bros. Max, and all that stuff. You've noticed recently, you've noticed that this for sure and stuff like that. That they're selling their library to other streamers and stuff like that. And then it's like I'm not a marketing person, I'm not a business person, but the brand name of it, the diluting of the Warner Bros., the HBO of it all is troubling. I mean, you go on Netflix and you click on what's coming soon, what's coming up to that streaming service.
Yep.
You notice that too, right?
Yeah, the Snyderverse in it, except for the Snyder Cut.
We're just putting aside the quality of these shows, right? I'm just talking about like the pure branding or of it all. You know what I mean? They'll have Batman coming up. They have what do you call it? Black Adam coming up. You know what I mean? Suicide Squad. I think James Gunn's Suicide Squad, and this is on top of the fact that they put what do you call it? Some of HBO Max's HBO's TV series on Netflix as well.
Yep.
I'm thinking, if I'm Warner Brothers, I've worked for Warner Brothers, and I built up the HBO brand. Like, what the hell is going on, man?
Yeah, they're ruining the HBO brand. I guess it's a good thing to call it Max instead of, because HBO can kind of go like, oh, we're a cable channel. Don't worry about us. We're a cable channel.
And one of the ones they sold earlier this year, the Batman holiday figure, right? That's the one that Amazon brought, and then they're promoting it like, hey, Batman has like this holiday cartoon anime special, right? That's coming up on Amazon. It's just odd. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I was still debating whether one of my predictions for next year is that Max get merged into another streaming service, but we'll see. We'll see. Speaking of HBO and Max, last week tonight with John Oliver, intervene in quotes with New Zealand's Bird of the Century vote election kind of thing, and he went ahead and got behind Puteki Teki, right? So it kind of created like a whole thing in New Zealand. I'm pretty sure it was New Zealand, and they were like fighting back. Oh, look, the Americans are trying to interfere with our elections. Like big surprise, and John Oliver has the money to really promote the Puteki Teki, and sure enough, the Puteki Teki did win.
Look at that,
and you can actually buy like a metal bird version of the Puteki Teki with John Oliver on the back of the metal bird, which is nice. I kind of want to buy it now.
Hey guys, it's either John Oliver does it or our CIA does it. You know what I mean? Hey, which one do you prefer? Huh? What do you want? Come on.
Yeah.
Talk.
Speaking of drama, OpenAI had all this drama with Sam Altman, the owner, the CEO, and then it went to Microsoft, and then it went back to the Open. I don't know the details, so but it was a big story in the tech community this month. So that's something.
Like I mentioned earlier, I'm kind of off Twitter, offline a little bit, and this is one of those things that's way over my head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I have no idea before that thing broke online, quote unquote. It's like I have no idea what OpenAI means. I have no idea who this guy is.
Well, OpenAI is the company behind ChatGPT.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and supposedly Sam Altman is like a huge deal in terms of the whole AI thing. So the board ousted Sam Altman for whatever reason. Oh no, because Sam Altman said that their intention wasn't really to make money with ChatGPT or whatever, and then the board kicked him out. I guess presumably because of that. Like, what do you mean we're not making money? Kind of thing. And then Microsoft said, okay, fine, Sam Altman's going to work with us now because Microsoft owns a share of OpenAI. And then the people who work in OpenAI said, like, hey, if you don't bring Sam Altman back, we're quitting. So the board essentially said, like, fine, you guys win. They dissolved the board except for one person. And Sam Altman is back in OpenAI. Now, how important Sam Altman is was beyond me to why that is. But apparently, really important guy because everybody's fighting for him. So we'll see. Go ahead.
Hold on. I'm gonna merge two of the things we just talked about. I don't know if you're going to do this story, but what do you call it? It's Netflix and Silicon Valley. Did you hear about the story where Netflix gave a director like $55 million to do a series for them, and then he did not make said series that he promised?
Wow. No,
Did you hear about this one?
used to be.
Yeah, I'm looking up as we talk right now, but basically, my guy basically took the $55 million, and instead of making a series for Netflix, he took that money and he bought like Dogecoin or something like that for X amount of dollars, and he took the profits from that and bought like a lot of luxurious items and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like a whole thing.
Are you
But
sure
he
you're
never.
not? Are you sure you're not talking about George Santos?
No, that's just it sounds like what something he would do.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Anything more to that one?
I don't know if you're interested. Should I Google you the search results?
No. The listeners
Yeah,
can
it's
look
not
it
that
up.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can look up Netflix Doge. What do you call it? Carl Eric Reich and the sci-fi series Conquest on Google, and then you can get all the details.
Wow.
Netflix Conquest and I don't know, Dogecoin, whatever you call it. But yeah, it's funny. It's just hilarious. My guy took the money and just kind of scammed Netflix and just bought stocks and stuff like that, and bought luxury cars and jewelry and stuff like that. So yeah, good times.
Well, since you mentioned Dogecoin, I'll mention Doge or dogs.
Yeah.
Another thing that came out in this month was apparently there was a respiratory illness that was spreading among dogs, and specifically only dogs. It's actually been spreading for a couple of months now, but it got more into the news this month. So essentially, it's the way I describe it. It's pretty much COVID for dogs, because they're actually recommending that dogs social distance from other dogs, which is very sad. So yeah, so keep an eye on that. There are currently some treatment that some vets are using, but they're not 100%. They're like, oh, this one works. Oh, this one works. Basically, it's COVID all over again.
Yeah.
So everybody's guessing right now.
Yeah.
But then some of the methods did work, and I'll give them that. But right now, it's still a mysterious respiratory illness. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, thankfully, I've been socially distancing my dog for like 7 years now. My dog's a complete dick. He's not friendly with any dog. He's never gone on play dates. He's never been nice to a dog. We kind of met as we're walking. He barks and wants to fight everybody. He's just a dick. He's a typical small dog with a big attitude problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Very recently, this past weekend, as of recording, 2 days from this recording, actually, Disneyland, It's a Small World, had a naked streaker go through the ride. I'll leave a link in the show notes if you guys want to check that out. And also, the other big Disney story for the month is everybody talking about the box office of the Marvels and the movie Wish. But I think we are going to go ahead and talk more about that on the next episode. And there we go. Those big news stories for November 2023. And this was episode 722. Wait, what? 722 of the Stuff and Junk Show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, this podcast has been a Who What Worst White production.